Hey everyone, Gary Turner here. Hope you're doing well. Host of the In the Business of Healthy Masculinity podcast and also founder of the Radicality ecosystem. Now, while I'm recording this video today, and I'm super grateful to my incredible friend Jo Homstead. Go check her out and the work that she's doing at connectup.business. She shared with me that today, as I record this, on Saturday, the 18th of October 2025, there's a really beautiful 5 minute conversation on the iPlayer, or what's BBC Breakfast News this morning. I've shared the source at the bottom. What I'm going to do is share the full 5 minutes. You'll see my face on this because it's the best way, basically, for me to have the setup on this particular video. But I won't be commenting throughout. I'll just let the video run. But what I do want to comment on in advance are two things. One is for any men out there, any dads out there, this is really powerful. Get along to this group. They're amazing. And it's really inspired me to make sure that there are similar groups set up in my locality. So one of the actions I'm going to take personally, for anyone that knows me, I really care about creating cultures in businesses and outside, in communities of healthy masculinity. And this has really inspired me to get on with building something locally or working with others that are already doing that in my community. The other thing I wanted to mention are two incredible books. One is called Everyman by Dr. Jackson Katz. This book was actually the seed for the whole platform that I'm currently developing on co-creating with others in the business of healthy masculinity, because one of the areas where unhealthy masculinity, or some call it toxic, I prefer to use the language of unhealthy masculinity, is in business spaces. This stuff just isn't spoken about. Leadership doesn't want to talk about it. And of course, the majority of those that still are in powerful positions in business are men. So I invite anybody that's curious, have a read of this book, really, really powerful. The other one I can invite you to read is Lewis Howes, The Mask of Masculinity. Lewis is an ex-NFL football player in the States. He very courageously talks about him being raped by a family member when he was young, and how that informed all the different masks that he wore throughout his life. Instead of dealing with the trauma and the pain and the upset of that experience younger in his life, he put on a load of different masks to not have to deal with the root cause. And that's the final thing I want to mention with this amazing video. This video is incredible, and it's really important we have more of these groups. And what I see with this, and again, I want to build some of these in my own area or work with others doing this, is this is symptomatic. So that we've got these groups in place to help deal with the symptom of unhealthy masculinity, i.e., a culture that says men can't feel, men show weakness if they engage in things that aren't just about driving, about winning, about dominating, right? So it's really important these groups exist, but they are dealing symptomatically with the issue. What I also want to point at is the root cause. We have to be able to look at the root cause of why we end up with unhealthy masculinity in the first place. And that is supremacy culture. That is colonization. That is racism. That is xenophobia. There is a whole system in the background that is working. All these intersectional patterns are happening in the background. It's what's bedded into our education. It's what's bedded into our businesses. It's what's bedded into our politics and geopolitics. This is real. This is massive, and it's so important that this conversation is becoming more mainstream around healthy masculinity. And like I say, I've been finding my own voice around it after, it's been many years of me being on my own journey of being able to reconnect with myself, my head, heart, gut, being able to talk about these things in a coherent and less judgmental way. But we have to look at the root causes, supremacy culture, racism, etc., at the same time as building spaces like this to be able to deal with the symptoms. That's an invitation I'm going to leave you with. I'll go with the full 5 minutes of this wonderful conversation. And please leave your thoughts, challenges, ideas, and I'll be reaching out to these amazing humans to see what I can learn from them as well. Thanks, everyone. And here is the amazing video.
Now, for many fathers, talking about life's pressures can be difficult, but a club in London is trying to provide a safe space for them to open up with each other and with their children. The Jessop's Dad's Kids Club was recently awarded a BBC Local Make a Difference Award for encouraging men to be positive role models and spend more time with their children, as Tim Muffet, our reporter, has been finding out at a session.
Scott has been getting men talking to each other and to their children.
It's a club where men with their children come to connect with each other, to maybe share some skills, learn some things, and bond.
The club was set up following some horrific cases of male violence against women.
We decided the best thing in response to some tragic events, was to start a club for the men and the children to come and talk, and the kids could see positive examples of masculinity.
So it's just a good time. We do things like fix up the kids' bikes. There's a lot of kids who cycle to school here.
What are you doing, Phoenix?
We're trying to light these, we're trying to make fire and light these.
Is it fun?
It makes a big difference, especially if people are going through inward struggles and things they might not want to talk about or even mention. Just being here is a nice thing because it feels like, you're being supported. There's like-minded people.
The positive impact of the Jessup Dads Kids Club landed it the Best Community Group Prize at the BBC Make a Difference Awards. And joining today's session is someone who has just become a dad for the second time.
Dads and guys are really rubbish at talking about stuff, and even though I seem like someone who chats a lot and I talk a lot, there's definitely things that I keep to myself and things that I don't talk about. And so I think this club is really, really important for the community.
Although Ollie had been planning to make a low-key entrance, word has spread that there's a pop star in the building.
We seek to present positive models of manhood by creating a space where young boys and girls could be amongst their uncles, dads, granddads, elder brothers in a very relaxed and positive way.
Attendance here has doubled, and there are plans for expansion.
We've just opened another club in North London, and then we're pushing on to Yorkshire next. So this conversation's opening up.
Jamie, I want you to listen carefully.
When Adolescents were shown on Netflix, it brought the issue of toxic masculinity right into the middle of the culture, didn't it? It was talked about so much. Did that change what you were talking about?
Toxic masculinity is a complicated conversation.
Dad, you're not reading what they're doing. It's a call to action by the manosphere.
We set the club up a year before Adolescents came out. It reaffirmed the need for the club.
You must trick them because you'll never get them in a normal way.
We're very aware of some of the bad narratives, but it is a way of presenting a positive version of masculinity without labouring the point.
My work is obviously
It's respectful, it's about sharing, it's about caring, and also it's about fun.
Here we go. Here we go.
Dads and men need to be better at sharing, and just this informal setting means you can just chat with ease about anything, and it's usual stuff, but also, important stuff.
Sometimes you can go to events and see the dads just sat on the corner on their own because they don't have anyone to talk to.
Gabby Roslin has been closely involved with the BBC's Make a Difference campaign since it began 5 years ago.
I think with this Dads Club, you see how important it is for a man to feel that he's in a safe space, to be able to talk to other men. Because men are notoriously difficult, find it difficult to talk about their feelings, to talk about their mental health. And this seems such an open space, very special.
Have you seen Mr. Blippy? Yeah, Mr. Blippy? It's been really lovely to be in this environment and be around other dads. It was actually just a little subtle change that he's made. It's made a massive difference.
Jessup Dads Kids Club is a place where positive masculinity thrives, where ideas, advice and problems can all be shared.
Come on, fellas, bring it, bring it, bring it.
Tim Muffet, BBC News.
That's good.
How beautiful, how powerful, and how exciting when we're watching what's going on a macro geopolitical basis. We're seeing the complete opposite of what you've just seen and heard in this last 9 minutes. We're seeing a handful, only a tiny handful of very powerful, in particular men, role modeling unhealthy masculinity, domination, control, oppression, erasure of literature, erasure of people, erasure of whole communities, literally and figuratively. This is such an inspiring example of how we can deal with some of the symptoms of these geopolitical and intergenerational challenges of keeping men living above their neck whilst so much violence against women and girls and other genders continues. So excited. I'm really excited to have seen this. I'm so grateful to Joe again for sharing this with me this morning. And I'm just going to remind you again of those two books. First of all, Every Man, Why Violence Against Women and Girls is a Men's Issue by Dr. Jackson Katz, strongly recommended. And Lewis Howe's The Mask of Masculinity. I hope this has been a helpful addition to a beautiful breakfast story on the iPlayer this morning. And I just want to bid you a good weekend. If you see this today, I'm going to pop this out today. And in addition, if you want to speak to me about this stuff as well, let's say I'm working within the business space. So I'd really like to speak to anybody, particularly leaders, other men that want to bring this conversation into the business space so we can actually create healthier cultures, healthier leadership mindsets, so that we can actually get away from this ridiculous 21p in every pound of salaries being the global engagement stats. We're literally throwing away 79 pence in every pound of salaries due to ineffective leadership, organizational design, cultures. No matter what the metrics coming out, no matter how much money we're making, no matter how happy or not the markets are with the business, the health of our organizations and our communities is in free fall. We know it. Unhealthy masculinity is part of that. How we reclaim our health, reclaim our self-worth as men, come together as this beautiful video is witnessing, is a huge, huge antidote at a root cause. At a root cause, we can change this, but it's going to particularly need us men to lean in. And this group is a great example as one way to deal with those symptoms whilst we continue to attack the root cause. Take care, everyone. You can find out more about me. Sign up at my blog at possibilityexpander.substack.com. Email me if you want to get in contact, Gary, GARRY.turner@radicality.co.uk. And look out on Monday, the next episode of In the Business of Healthy Masculinity comes out with the amazing Mace Energy Method facilitator and coach, Helen Amery. And last week's episode, the inaugural #1 episode of In the Business of Healthy Masculinity, was with the listener, Colin D. Smith. And it's a beautiful, beautiful conversation. See you soon. All the best.